Hello Live Wires, Heather Boyd Wire here. Today I'm going to show you 10 different earrings to make with a Slinky. I just bought this Slinky on Amazon. They're kind of hard to find these days, and I'm going to use my memory wire cutters. Do not use your best cutters with the Slinkies. These are very hard wire and they're flat, so they're a little difficult to work with. So we'll start just by cutting one round, and I'm going to make a flower design. I'll take my larger round pliers and I'm going to start with the inner loop. So we're going to bring this one around. I already made one, so I'm going to compare it with that. I'm not going to worry too much if they're absolutely the same. Measure the length to have a sort of idea of how big it should be. Keep in mind these are curved, so they're very difficult to get in the right direction. So we're just going to bring this one around. Keep comparing it if you need to, and take this one out. Bring it out, and as you're bending, kind of rotate it as you go so it'll be straightened out as much as possible. And then we're going to do another petal around here, and again put your pliers in there and kind of rotate it to straighten it out. And then we're going to bring it up here, bring it in, and if you need it wider, just put it wider in the pliers. And then here again, kind of put your pliers in there, rotate it a bit. Like I said, these are very hard. If your hands are delicate, do not try these projects or do them with regular flat wire. And then we're going to bring this one in here, and then we just want to bring this one straight up. So again, rotate the pliers in, bring it straight up, and then we can just see what we have to do to adjust them. They're more or less the same. And then to have an idea of the top, measure it, bring that one out, and then take this and loop it around. If you can't get the memory wire cutters in there, just take your flat pliers, hold it tight, and bend it back and forth, and it'll snap just like the paper clips. And then we're going to bring that one in there and adjust this so it looks somewhat like the other one. You might want to bring these ones in a little bit more, and you see the two together looks like a complete flower. The wire is really thick, so you can either put a jump ring and then your earring hook, or you can take an earring hook and just make this part a little bit bigger. So just bring this one around, and then that should be able to fit on there. Close it up, and there you have your really funky half flower earrings. So I'll cut another loop off the Slinky, and we're just going to make one that kind of waves back and forth. So we'll just take our round pliers again, bring this one around to make a closed loop. So we're just going to take this and go back and forth. And again, let's not worry too much if it's absolutely the same. We're just going to go back and forth, and we'll get a little wider as we go up. And again, over here, back here, over here again, and then we have one more over here, one more over here. Let's see if the top is about the same. Pretty good. Down here, and then the loop at the top. So bring this one around and down. And again, if you can't access it with the cutters, just hold it with your flat pliers, bend this back and forth, and then pinch it in. For the hook, I have a bunch of these duds that didn't have springs on them, and I'm just going to open up the loop here, and I'll stick a miracle bead on there, and then I'm just going to pull that one back and make this into a bigger loop, and then I'll just stick it on there and close up the loop, and there we have our super funky earrings made out of a Slinky. If you have a little scrap of Slinky, you can make some infinity signs. So just take the wire, bring this one around, and then flip it over, and then just bring this one around too. Careful not to hurt your finger. If you have to push in a little end, hold it with your pliers, and then compare it to one you've already done. If the end is too short, get 2 pairs of pliers, hold it where you want to make the break, and just take this one and bend it back and forth. Be very careful and it'll snap. Trying to bend it so those lines line up. To put them on the hook, just take a jump ring, stick it on the infinity sign, get your earring hook, stick it on there, close it up, and it's going to be sitting sideways, so you're going to have to like give your hook a half turn. And there you have your infinity sign earrings, and don't worry if one's a little wider than the other one. For the spiral earrings, we will cut another round of the Slinky, and we're just going to take our round pliers. These are pretty heavy duty pliers, don't use your best pliers. And we're just going to bring it around to do a closed loop, and then we just kind of want to work our way around. So very gently take this and slowly work our way around. You're going to have to kind of rotate it a bit to try to straighten it out. Bring it around and around and around, and just keep working your way around and kind of like rotating this as you go around and around and around. To make them even, if you cut the wires the same length from the beginning, your earrings are going to be more or less even. So now we can compare them to have an idea. Push that in a little bit. And we don't want them too big either. So now I'm going to just from here take this end and bring it around. And then we're going to take this, bend it back and forth, push that one in. You'll see they have a bit of a curve to them, but that's okay. And they're almost the same size. And there you have your spiral earrings made out of a Slinky. So I did a poll in the community section, and these dangling ones were the most popular design. And what you want to do is we want to do sort of the mirror image of these ones. So what I'll do is I'm going to measure first the largest one. We're going to bring that one around, and this is where my bend is going to be. But for this one, it's in the same direction. I bent it to the back. So for this one, I'm going to bend it to the front. So it'll be opposite. So we're going to bring that one around, bring it right around. And then we want to cut that. So we'll do our same trick where we hold it with the flat pliers and bend it back and forth. And that'll snap it. And then we want to push that level in there. So that's the first one. And then we're going to measure the second one. So bring it around. But rather than bending it to the back, we're going to bend it to the front. So we're going to take this one, bend it this way, around, and then same thing, we're going to snap that off. So hold it, bend it back and forth, snap it. This wire is very hard. Be very careful when you work with it. You can even wear gloves if you think you need more protection. Now this one got a little bent up, so we could push it down a little bit, and you can file that if you want to. So we're going to bring this one around, measure that. Again, instead of bending it to the back, we're going to bend it to the front, right around, and then we have to snap that off. So hold this with these, bend it back and forth, push that in place. So now we have our 3 pieces. We're going to get a jump ring. We're just going to put the first one, the second one, and the third one. Then the earring hook, close it up, and there you have your dangling earrings made with a Slinky. So to do this simple springy one, if you want the earrings to be the same size, just take one round of the Slinky and clip it right in the middle. You can eyeball it or you can measure it. So just give it a clip. You could even check them, and if they're not quite the same, just wiggle off a little bit so they're the same size. For this one, all we're going to do is go back and forth. So you can measure it at the same place in your pliers, or you can just eyeball it. We're just going to go back carefully so it doesn't snap, because if you bend it too much it can snap. And back, careful, and then back and forth. Yeah, if you bend the wire too much it can snap, but if you go gently with it, then you can get a pretty even bend. And the ends can be sharp, so you can definitely file them. Like I said, you can wear gloves. Just be very careful when you're doing these projects. So once you have about like that, then you can take your round pliers, wiggle it right in like that. See if they match up. And there you have your zigzag earrings made out of a slinky. To do the geometric earrings, you're just going to take another round from the slinky. For this one you can make the two earrings different shapes and sizes, so we're just going to start at the top and just bring it around to make the loop for the hook. From here you can just take your flat pliers and just bend it in any kind of configuration you want. You can go down, you can go up, you can go down again, up again, straight down, up again, and out. Make any kind of shapes you want down that way, and then straight up. Wiggle this around, bring it in so it sits flush, and then if it's too curved you can kind of take your flat pliers and just bend it back so it's a little more flattened out. Then you could take a jump ring, just stick it on the hook, take your earring, stick it on the jump ring, and there you have your geometric earrings, and it's totally fine if they're different on each side. To do the loopy earrings, we'll take a loop of the slinky and our round pliers. I'm going to bend it back and forth, so just start like that. I love these black pliers. They're an older pair I have. They're very heavy duty. You can also use the Beadsmith looping pliers for this project. We're going to just bend it back and forth, and I'm going to try to keep the loops a consistent size rather than having them get larger or smaller. So just keep going back and forth, and then we'll just compare it to the other one that we did, and then we're going to do a loop at the top. So we're going to bring it around all the way around, and if you have extra, just put your flat pliers in there and bend it back and forth till it snaps. Close it up, pinch it with the flat pliers to hold it in place, adjust that so it's flat, put the hook on the top loop, and there you have your curvy earrings made with a slinky. A double loop of slinky here, so we've gone around twice, and then I'm going to wind it around a Sharpie. You can open it up a bit to make it easier. Hold it on the Sharpie, and we're just going to wind it around just carefully, and you have to kind of rotate it as you go so it'll be flat on the Sharpie. So just keep bringing it around, kind of rotate your wrist a bit to get it to sit flat. So round and around. You can try to space it out equal distance on the Sharpie, otherwise it's okay if there's larger spaces between the wires. It's better to have the wire too long, then you're gonna have more to work with because it's hard when it gets near the end. So we can just remove it like that. We can cut a bit of the extra bit. You can actually take this end, bend it in so there's no little sharp bit, and then for the top just bring it up a little, try to center it a bit. Take this round pliers, bring this around to clip it, just hold it with the flat pliers, bend it back and forth, push that in, bend that so it's vertical. Bring that to the center. I'm going to add the hook with a jump ring, close it up. If one of the earrings is too long, you can always trim it. So just bend a little bit off, bend the end in, and there you have your super cute spiral earrings made out of Slinky. For the star, you can try to stretch this out a little bit to straighten it out. Just be really careful when you do this because it's very, very sharp and you don't want to hurt yourself. And then we're just going to take the flat pliers and we're going to bend them that way. Have a bit of a measurement on your pliers. Put your pliers in place. You can also use a ruler. Bend that forward and then again measure it, and then you can bend this to the back. It's like we're forming a 5-point star. It's like drawing a star that way, and then again measure it with a ruler or with your pliers. We're going to bend that one to the front, and we have like a stylized star. You could tuck that one over here so it's a little easier to attach. And then we're going to actually take this one and bring it over this way. If your end is too long, hold it with one pliers, take the others, and bend it back and forth until it snaps. And then we're going to poke that one down. And then we want to do a loop. So we're just going to hold this with the round pliers, bring this one around to form a loop, and we're going to have to trim that edge a little bit, so hold it with the flat pliers, bend it back and forth till it snaps, put that in. So we'll just add the hook with a jump ring, stick it on there, and there you have your super funky star made with a Slinky. So thanks so much for watching the video. Give it a big thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for lots more wire art and jewelry making videos. Hit the notification bell to be notified when I go live and when I post new videos. And if you'd like to share photos of your wire art and jewelry, be sure to join the Wire Makers Club on Facebook. And if you'd like to check out our work on Etsy, my husband and I specialize in custom wedding cake toppers and funky jewelry. I also have a mailing list, so if you'd like to submit your email, I will send you my free Wire Art Essentials ebook. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you the next time.